I went backstage with Rock's Monsters, the evolution of shock rock. I used to think rock and roll was all about guitars and rebellion until I met the Monsters. The ones who didn't just play music, they became nightmares. Forget sweet melodies and love songs. Tonight, we're diving into the dark heart of rock, where the stage became a torture chamber and the music a ritual. This Halloween, we're not just dressing up, we're witnessing the birth of rock's most terrifying spectacle. From voodoo rituals to guillotine stunts, this is the story of shock rock.
Before we descend further into this carnival of fear, if you appreciate a good scare and a deep dive into rock's darkest corners, don't be a scaredy cat. Hit that like button. It helps us summon more content like this. And if you dare to walk with the undead through music history, subscribe right now. We're building a crypt of knowledge here, and you're invited to join the ghoulish gathering. Now, let's unleash the beasts. Our story begins in the mid-1950s, not with elaborate stage sets, but with raw, primal instinct. The man who first truly shocked the world was Screamin Jay Hawkins. In 1956, his iconic track, I Put a Spell on You, wasn't just sung, it was wailed, growled and cackled. Reportedly recorded after a night of heavy drinking, unleashing a sound that was pure, unadulterated madness. But it was his live show that cemented his legend. Rising from a coffin, brandishing a skull named Henry, and incorporating voodoo theatrics, Hawkins turned a concert into a dark ritual. He didn't just perform, he put a spell on you. He laid the foundation for every monster who came after.
Across the Atlantic, as the 60s dawned, a British showman picked up Hawkins' mantle and ran with it. Screaming Lord Sutch, the first lord of horror rock, embraced the macabre with singles like Jack the Ripper in 1963. Sutch's stage act was a full-blown horror show. He'd wear Viking helmets, don torn cloaks, and stage mock decapitations. He infused the burgeoning British rock scene with a deliberate theatricality that was both camp and genuinely unsettling, proving that rock could be an outrageous spectacle. And in a bizarre twist, Sutch would go on to become almost as famous for founding the official Monster Raving Loony Party, contesting a record 39 parliamentary elections in the UK. He literally took his shock rock showmanship from the stage to the ballot box, proving that sometimes politics itself is the greatest theatre of the absurd. But the true golden age of shock rock, where it became a fully conceptualized art form, arrived in the late 60s and early 70s. Enter Alice Cooper. From Phoenix, Arizona, this band, fronted by Vincent Furnier, who would later legally become Alice Cooper, refined the concept. They fused garage rock with vaudeville macabre, transforming their concerts into elaborate Grand Guignol productions. Guillotines, electric chairs, snakes, fake blood and dismembered baby dolls. Their shows were designed to shock parents and thrill teenagers. Alice Cooper weren't just performing, he was embodying the dark side of American suburbia, making horror chic and controversial. He paved the way for groups like Kiss, who took the theatricality to arena rock levels with their iconic makeup, pyrotechnics, and larger-than-life superhero personas.
shock rock had moved from niche horror to mainstream spectacle. If Alice Cooper was a cartoon villain, this final act was the nightmare. By the 90s, one artist took the entire shock rock blueprint, injected it with industrial nihilism, and sent the religious right into a total panic. He is the ultimate evolution of the shock star, Marilyn Manson.
We're wrapping up the ultimate Halloween feature with the man who became the boogeyman of a generation. Get ready for the deep dive on the industrial revolution of shock. The name and the mentor. Hook Brian Warner created the persona of Marilyn Manson by merging the ultimate symbols of innocence and evil, Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson. His dark genius was immediately recognized by Trent Reznor, who signed them to Nothing Records. Unlike the garage rock of Alice Cooper or the glam of Kiss, Manson's sound was heavy, gritty, industrial rock and metal, perfectly reflecting the anger and cynicism of the post-80s generation. The 1996 album Antichrist Superstar launched him into the stratosphere. The single The Beautiful People was a musical sledgehammer, a tribal, distorted, unforgettable anthem against celebrity and conformity. His live shows were an unparalleled spectacle of blasphemy, self-mutilation and violence. He literally tore up Bibles on stage. This wasn't just shock for fun, it sparked nationwide protests and a furious media campaign that banned him from performing in several states, cementing him as public enemy number one. After all the chaos, Manson proved he was an artist, not just an agitator, by completely changing his persona for mechanical animals, adopting a sleek, androgynous David Bowie-inspired glam rock and look and sound. It was the ultimate shock. It went pop. Tragically, Manson became an unwarranted scapegoat for the Columbine High School massacre in 1999. Despite no evidence connecting his music to the shooter's motives, the media and politicians blamed his music, permanently linking him to senseless violence in the public consciousness. The enduring shock. From the chicken blood of the 50s to the industrial chaos of the 90s, shock rock is a constant. It reflects our fears, challenges our taboos, and remains the ultimate form of rebellion in music. Happy Halloween!
From a primal scream in a smoky bar to a meticulously choreographed arena spectacle, shock rock has always been about pushing boundaries. It's the rock and roll that dares to be ugly, to be frightening, to confront our fears and societal norms head on. It reminds us that sometimes the most memorable performances aren't the prettiest, but the ones that leave us utterly spellbound, chilled to the bone, and questioning everything. Happy Halloween, and may your nightmares be musical.